shadows where we weave. Cat's voice spins webs of belief. Tarantulas with names like art. Science and spiders tear the dark. Whispered wonders in the haze. Youthful minds in their gaze. Spreading vibes across the air in this web. Nothing compares. Web wonders casting spells where dark truths and lightness dwell. Teaching youth the planet's lore. Spinning webs forevermore. Scientific names roll on her tongue. Wisdom's lantern for the young. Tarantulas creeping through the stream. Now the pulse matches the dream. Spiders crawl.
Hi everyone, welcome to episode 16. I always lose myself on what episode we're on. But anyway, welcome to another episode of Web Wonders, and we are here today to have a different kind of discussion where it's not about, technically it is about bugs, but it's, hi Kevin. Technically it is about bugs, but it's not the kind of bugs you think about. Can you guys guess what we're going to be talking about? But here today we have a very special guest who has not really been on podcasts before. So please give a warm welcome to Shelby.
Hi, everybody.
Hi. So please tell us a little bit about yourself so we can get started.
Well, hi, I'm Shelby, all over Xotics. I work with everything as my name entails. So mainly right now I'm breeding isopods and millipedes. I have a breeding pair of emperor scorpion and a couple upper inverts that I'm messing with just for funsies. I just really love bugs, but I'm also breeding Mexican black king snakes and a couple other colubrids and things like that. I also have tons of new Caledonian gecko stuff and tons of other species I work with. I just got into reptiles and fell in love with everything. And that's just always been who I was.
Right from the beginning. So
Yeah.
You've always loved the creepy crawlies. You've always loved bugs.
Yeah, like everything. Like growing up, I'd find random kittens on the sidewalk and I'd get them to follow me home. I'd come home with a box of kittens and like show my mom, be like, look, they need a home. And that's literally how I started bringing animals home. I did that with dogs. I remember catching a locust or a grasshopper when I was a kid and trying to make it a pet of mine. I remember my sister and I caught an outdoor mouse and tried making it a pet of mine. I just always tried bringing home the wildest animals. I was the type of kid that would go to Walmart and buy fish, and I would just come home and set up tanks and try to learn about them. And my mom just gave up at one point on trying to stop me. She was like, you know what? If you're going to spend your money buying fish, who am I to stop you?
That's basically our childhood.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I was just talking to a friend of mine earlier. He's actually in the chat. Hi, Mark. So when we're kids, our main focus is animals. I mean, yeah, you have kids that go play outside or whatever. I mean, I'm talking about my childhood, like way back in the 90s. You know, you weren't a kid unless you climbed a tree, scraped your knee, and just enjoyed nature. And so that curiosity just made us driven by curiosity. We just wanted those bugs, it was just a thing. It was Minecraft for us, as compared to the kids today.
See, I still love Minecraft. I will go and play that for hours if I'm having a stressful day. Just like the sense of adventure and creativity has always been what puts my mind at ease. And luckily, I was raised in a house that my mom took us camping all the time, and she took us like the nature centers whenever we went to specific camping, like new camping places. My brother was in the Boy Scouts, so I got to go on a lot of excursions with him when I was a kid. So I got exposed to a lot of just natural things. So it's kind of hard to say that I started specifically with reptiles at a time because it generally was just everything. Like anything and everything made me excited. Any wildlife that I found, even now I volunteer at the wildlife center. So I get to work with owls and possums and all other cool things. So like I'm generally living my life to make my child self happy. So that's why on the bottom of my logo is childhood achievements unlocked.
Okay.
Because I'm just looking at it like, dang, I love video games. If you couldn't get it from my logo, and I just wanted it to be something that made little Shelby proud. That's all I want to do. I don't want to make anyone else happy in this world except for her. And if that joy and passion rubs off to everybody else, so be it. If it happens, it happens. But I just want to be the thing that makes other people excited about what I'm excited about because I think it's cool.
Yeah, I think so too. Juice, Kat, do you mind asking her a question where the answer is just probably from last night?
I don't.
Oh my goodness.
We don't have those questions about. Well, maybe we do. He would be the one to find something like that.
Only Juice. Only Juice. Thank you, Juice, for being here and
Oh
supporting.
no! Wait. Oh, I muted myself on accident. Hold on. How did I do that?
What? No, you're good.
I muted myself. I don't know how to fix it.
No, we can hear you.
Or at least I can't hear you.
Not me. Okay, 1 second, okay? Don't go anywhere, guys. Let me see.
Oh, you're the bane of my existence.
No, you're fine.
Oh, you're back. Ah!
Yes, we're good. We're good.
Dude, I'm 28 years old. I do not have a reason for technical difficulties.
Oh my goodness. So you can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you again.
Okay, good. We're all good. We're all good.
We're back. Team's locked in.
Good. Okay. 1 second. Catching up to everyone here. Hello, everyone. I'm just gonna go real quick and because I promised I was gonna say hi to everyone in the comments. So I'm just gonna go through the comments and just say hi to everybody.
Say our hellos.
Yes, we have to. All right. Hi, Dickie. Hi, Kevin. Sugar Skull Serpents in the house. Untamed. Oh, that was me. Mark, Juice, of course. Jules. Hi, Jules. Banna Fields, what's up? Thank you, girl. Mike Duval, Morph Ave, thank you for being here. And so far, that is what we have today. Oh, Unlocked Morphs, Nick. Hi, Nick. Yay. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. And I had promised last night that I would give shout outs to people in the comments. So we did that.
No, absolutely. Supporting your supporters is always the biggest thing you have to do.
Exactly. So let's get down to what we're here for today. And that is
Millipedes.
Millipedes, yes. And we can't do a show without the star witness. So I have here a northern, oops, he's hanging on to a leaf.
Oh.
This is my northern millipede. I think he's a bumblebee.
Bumblebees are smaller. That looks like a Texas Gold. Which is equally gorgeous. I love Texas Golds and the chocolates. I think they're one of the coolest species ever.
Okay. So
they're supposedly really difficult to breed though, which makes me so sad.
Really? Wow. I know, they're so sweet.
Oh yeah, I had a whole group of them, 5 or 6 of them. And recently they all just aged out. So unfortunately, I have to get a new group of them. But I just look at them and admire them so much. They're such a fun species. They're so fun to feed and just see eat. Because I always give mine organic zucchini actually. So they get fancy chow all the time.
Yeah.
And I just it's one of my favorite species. I love the giant millipede species, but I also like my dwarfs, like the Maui skunks or the bumblebees. I think those are super cool. But there's something about the giants that always just steal my heart every single time.
I love those big ones. Okay. for those invert people who cannot do reptiles per se, the millipede, the giant millipede, the African giant millipede is as close as you can get to an actual snake.
Mm-hmm.
So enjoy, everybody. But that's not only there's actually a common denominator when it comes to millipedes and snakes. And so that's something that we're also going to talk about today, where, as you mentioned, like the different colors and morphs in millipedes are also some of the same in ball pythons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I was like, when I learned that, I was like, that's interesting.
Yeah, I know for Puerto Rican tree millipedes, which is currently like a whole group of millipedes that's getting like, that's not classified yet. Because there's the Puerto Rican black and orange tree millipede, which is the one that I have. And then there's like a spotted one and just a couple of different morphs that are undescribed. So like there's tons of morphs and different localities that you can find in millipedes. And same thing in like any species of snake or reptile in general.
Yeah.
So it's just really cool how everything overlays in science and all. Like, it's just really fun in general.
Yeah. So when did your millipede journey begin?
When was it? I was at the Houston NRG show.
Mm-hmm.
And funny enough, it was the millipede you were just holding. I was sitting at the table with Bug Cage, and they just had a big giant bin of them. And I was just staring at them, and I was fascinated because when you watch them move, like their legs move in a wave, like an ocean, right?
Yeah.
So they're just hypnotizing, and they're so stunning. And I remember looking at them, they're like, "Do you want to hold one?" And I was like, "Well, do I?" So they let me hold one, and 10 seconds of holding it, and I was like, "Okay, it feels like I'm holding live chain meal, like metal, whatever it is."
Yeah.
And it felt so weird, and it kind of just started scratching the back of my brain that I was like, maybe I want one. And I think like a year later, my friend was selling like some pink leg or Florida pink-footed millipedes, or it wasn't the American Giants. It was a Florida pinkfoot. And I was like, who is this diva? She has pink legs. Because I love pink-toe tarantulas.
Yeah.
So I was like, pink anything, I'm game. So I bought this one millipede, and I remember staring at her asking, like, so what do I feed it? And she was like, anything.
Right.
And I was like, what is, I don't understand. Because I'm a very literal person. If you say anything, like, the world now opens. Like, I can't just go to my fridge and give it soy sauce and rice. Like, obviously, there's thought process to this.
Yeah.
So I just kind of got obsessed and hyper fixated on that one millipede, and that millipede turned into like 2 new species, and then 3 new species, and then 10 new species. And then I just had a bunch of different millipede species that I really liked, but I wasn't keeping well. Like, I was not successful at the beginning of any of my millipedes. And one of those fatal flaws might have been that I was living in Vegas at the time, which is bone dry with no humidity.
Yes.
So, like, that is an uphill battle every single day. And now that I live in Texas, all of my millipedes are thriving and are happy. I'm happy they're thriving. We're in a lot better spot. I know a lot more than I did a couple of years ago, so I've learned a lot about how to breed them and take care of them and make them happy. But, yeah, it took me getting really into them. And then I think when I finally sprung really deep into, like, bugs, when I started harassing Juice all the time.
Yeah.
And then, like, once you get into bugs, you already know it. You get bullied into learning scientific names. So not only are you now learning, like, a whole, like, entomology, like, now you're learning Latin on the side.
Exactly.
And, like, everything else goes out the window. Like, people try to have normal conversations, and I've looked and said, if it's not bug-related, this thing on. I'm sorry. I can't keep up with you. Try again in 5 minutes, but I relive my brain.
Exactly. And that's the thing, when a lot of people don't know that when you're in the invert community, you have to know. I always preach that if you're going to be in the tarantula world, you have to know the scientific names, not only because it's important, but it has value. It has a lot of value and importance. So when it comes to any kind of invert, it's a no-brainer. You have to know the scientific names. So how long did it take you to learn?
as long as I've been keeping them, honestly. Even now, I still struggle with them, but I really work when I get with new species to try to make educational videos on them and make sure that I include their scientific names and
Right.
information on them. So I do my research, as well as I have like my notebooks that I have tons of notes on different species and things like that I do research on every single day practically, because my life and everything's dedicated to reptiles.
Oh,
Like, I don't really work a job. I only do reptile shows. Like, I take care of my man eyes collections, and that's my entire being. So it's me doing research on bugs all day, or my millipedes or isopods. So that really helped drill everything in.
mhm.
Also, like, labeling my bins with their scientific names, so I have to read it constantly.
Right.
So once I really like started doing that and focusing the importance of it, that was kind of easy for me. And then once you kind of see the pattern and all the names for certain groups, you kind of figure out what everything is. But it definitely took me a long time, and even now I am nowhere near confident. If you ask me the difference between a genus and a species in the file, you
The
got
phylum.
me. Hands are up. I'm sorry, I can't do it. But I
Yeah.
can at least say most of the scientific names.
As long as you have some, you're fine. You're good. You're good. Um, Unlock More is requesting to see your shirt logo.
Oh, yes, this really cool shirt that I have. It says herpetology on it, and it has like
Mm.
a turtle on it and some tadpoles and like some frogs. And I think that's an alligator, I don't really know, but it's really cool. I got it at a reptile super show.
Ah,
It's
okay.
like by this brand like Illustrations, and
Uh-huh.
like all of their designs are just like specific animals or plants with like the anatomical like diagram of what everything is and like their
Right.
structures.
Yeah.
So like they're just a really cool brand of shirt. Like they have an arthropod shirt actually that I want to get. So hopefully when I see them at a show again, I can get some
Yeah.
more of their sick stuff.
That's awesome. I love like those kinds of shirts where you can just uh wear without feeling weird about it. Like other people be like, "Oh, why did she have that shirt on?" or something like that, you know? Or wearing socks with spiders on them and stuff like that. So
See, I
that's
have
pretty
so
cool.
many cool socks and so many
Yeah.
like at this point I've just accepted because I dress like a like video game character. Like I have the same jeans and same shirt and the
Mhm.
same looking outfit for everything. Like I think I put together a collage of 10 different photos of 10 different outfits that was the same like blue jeans, black top, and that was
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
And I was like, who? Maybe
yeah.
we need a wardrobe change. And then somehow it just led to me buying like shirts with like flowers and their scientific names on them, and bug shirts
Okay,
and like
yeah.
shirts like this. And now my closet's like half plain basic tees and half like creative reptile, bug, other people's reptile brand shirts and things like that. And it's just
Yeah.
all of my friends.
Okay. What's the brand? He missed it again. What's the name?
Bio Illustrations. They're on
Bio.
Instagram.
All right. You got that, Nick. Bio Illustrations. All right. Thank you. Uh, so speaking of arthropods, I was doing a little digging, just refreshing my memory and stuff like that. So I don't know if you're familiar with Clint's Reptiles on YouTube. Of
Yes.
course, you have to be.
I know. Another way to learn your scientific names.
Exactly. So I was just rewatching his channel. I'm like, wow, I haven't seen this in a long time. So he had stated that millipedes come from the arthropod class Diplopoda, which are a species of small millipedes that lifespans between 5 and 7 years. They are ethereal and delicate. So the difference between a millipede and a centipede, because a lot of people get confused between the two because they look kind of alike, but to the trained
Mm-hmm.
eye, we know they're not. We can tell the difference.
Mm-hmm.
So I I heard this word and I was just like, what? Okay, he said that the difference between centipede and a millipede is their toxicognats. Juice that's right, Juice?
Oh, that's a big word for Elmo. Okay.
Yeah. So toxicognats is what centipedes have, and not millipedes. Millipedes
Okay.
are not They're not poisonous. They're not venomous. They don't sting. Nothing.
Well,
And
wait till I hit you with this Uno reverse.
exactly. What do they do though, and to defend themselves? What do they do?
They do secrete a toxin, and usually it's like the same thing as if a ladybug was to pee on your hand. It's a yellow stain
Yep.
that usually they'll mark on you. However, have you heard about flatback millipedes?
No.
Okay, so there's a special group of millipedes called the flatback millipedes, and they have a fancy little trick that they like to have. If stressed, they're able to release a hydrogen cyanide. So with pink dragon specifically, if you were to put them in your palm, and you can't pop a couple in your mouth and like do anything. It's not anything that could truly hurt an adult. If a child was to handle this millipede, it would just be go wash their hands, don't let them touch their mouth, obviously.
Right.
But it's not enough to harm a person. It's just for the sake of, I don't taste very good, so please don't eat me.
Right.
So like if you were to shake them in your hands, they would smell like almonds. Or if you find a species that's found in North America, like the wandering cherry or any of the wandering family, because there's like wandering cherries, the traveling cherry, and they're again a flatback millipede with neon orange to red coloration on their back. And if you were to do the same thing, the shake in your hand, they release their scent that one smells like cherries.
That is so interesting.
I know. They're my favorite species. I love pink dragon millipedes. I breed them all the time. I think I have 2 colonies of them now. They're my little pink conquistadors. They steal other isopod bins all the time. I love them. I go back and forth with them. I love them so much. They decided to make their third like family vacation home my white shark colony. And if you know what white sharks are, they're not like a cheap species. Like they're not like my powder orange colony where it's like, yeah, dudes, y'all can kick it with them. Like they went to the posh house downstairs. Like they went to their rich neighbor's house. Like, bro, of all colonies to invade, why? And like, people ask me all the time if you can cohab them with like isopods, and I tell them like, millipedes and isopods, like millipedes when they molt because they have such a hard shell, they become very vulnerable, and with isopods, they are opportunistic, and with protein-driven species, that can cause an issue. But with flatback millipedes, they don't molt the same way, I guess, or at least I don't think they're as sensitive to it because they're already a soft-bodied species.
Okay.
So, like, white sharks and pink dragons, they have proved to me that supposedly they can cohab. It's not something I suggest. I normally don't suggest it, and they were like, well, let us show you a fancy trick, lady.
So, okay. Please, I've never heard of this before, so please, do you mind explaining what white sharks are?
So white sharks are a dwarf species, or not necessarily a dwarf species, but they're a very small species of isopods. Mm-hmm. They kind of look like cappuccinos. They're very tiny. They're very small. They're about that big. Okay. And they have like cute little orange faces, a little white middle, and a cute little brown butt. Like they're just these itty bitty cute little things. I don't know, based off that coloration description, why we call them white sharks. Some isopod names are just weird. Like we have mango sticky rice, we have angry monks and happy nuns, which comically those 2 do have a cute story behind them. But we have a lot of weird names for pods.
Yes, that is so true.
So why they're called white sharks, I don't know, but they are really small and apparently can be cohabbed with pink dragon millipedes, per my knowledge now, because they bullied me into knowing this.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so far, for common names in the animal world, we have tarantulas with not the most, I would say last on the list of weird names. Then we have the isopods, I think is the top. So for those of you watching, all my reptile keepers, snake keepers, write it down in the comments. What is the weirdest morph, the name of the morph of a snake? Please tell us. And I'm going to ask Shelby. What's up, Nick? And I'm going to ask you, Shelby, what is your favorite weird common name for the isopods?
Ooh, like the other thing that people call them outside of like roly-polies?
Yes.
Dude, I see lists of this all the time in my isopod groups. There's so many good ones. I think potato bug's one that I've seen. because I love it, because I know exactly what they're describing. It's powder blues and like
Powder
P.
blues.
pursunis. Like I know I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, whatever.
Dairy cow.
If I say it with confidence, it's right. But like the powder oranges and powder blues, like they kind of are potato shaped. I get it. So like I get the potato bug. The sow bug is a weird one to me too, because isn't a sow a pig?
Sour pig?
Yeah, isn't like SOW? Isn't that a pig? I remember learning it from like a book I read when I was a kid. I think it was like, this is such a random book. I don't even know if anyone else has ever read it, but The Tale of Despero.
Never heard of that. What?
Like, it's a story about a mouse that becomes a knight. It's the cutest thing ever.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, it was like one of my, like, I think it was my 5th grade teacher's favorite book, so she read it to us. And now when I tell people about it, I feel like it's a fever dream. I own it.
You said
I know things.
so is a pig, yes.
I got a brain.
I've never heard
words.
of that.
See, and they call ice spots, that's another common name, is sow pig or sow bug.
Sow bug.
Which I get also, because
Oh.
sometimes they are gluttonous little piggies, because like dairy cows, my problematic queens,
Right.
definitely will eat everything.
Yes. Okay, I have a story about a dairy cow. Okay, so I've told the story once or twice before when my OBT escaped, one of my OBT slings.
Oh no.
Which may still be alive or dead around this house. I have no idea. But I had like a few big sling OBTs. And so I didn't know what to feed the tiny little sling at the time. I didn't have enough sufficient crickets, like pinheads. So I'm like, I'm going to try a sling. I know Juice is saying, no, why the hell are you doing that? Okay. So I fed I crushed the head thinking that, okay, it was still alive. I didn't know it. So the little poor thing molted and the dairy cow ate it. And I'm like, how are you still alive? I thought I crushed your head. So the little dairy
isopods
cow,
are impressive.
Yeah. It killed my baby.
That's why when people tell me they want to do dairy cows for bioactives, I'm like, look, I'm not saying something's going to happen.
Yeah.
But it could happen. And it's just because if I stick my hand in my dairy cow bin, and I might just be known as the food bringer in the sun that just sprinkles in delicious aphrodisiac for them. And that's all they know me. But I have literally taken shrimp and food and like put my hand in there and they crawl in my hand and they don't bite you, but they kind of like nibble on your hand sometimes because they're going for like the dead skin. It's like those fish ball things. Ice spots do the same things. Millipedes do the same things. Ice spots do the same things. They don't bite you. They're just nibbling the dead skin off your hands. They're trying to give you like a pedicure or like a mani. Like they're just spa girls. Like they genuinely are really, really clean creatures, even though they live in dirt. Mm-hmm. Like millipedes usually have like an asymptomatic relationship or asymbiotic relationship with mites that usually helps clean them and things like that. Yes. And even in like ice spot bins, one of your biggest like enemies is going to be like grain mites. But arguably, those guys are also proving you have an incredibly healthy environment, and they do arguably do a good job too, and they're not bad. Oh, I'm so sorry. Hold on.
Yeah.
Lights.
Clap on. Clap off.
There we go.
Oh, it
worked.
Clap on works, or the snap on.
But oh god, see, I had to be the bringer of light again. Even the universe.
You're my kind of girl. So speaking of symbiotic relationships, I wrote down this little note here. So for someone getting into, I'm going to read this, I'm paraphrasing. So for someone getting into millipedes, they're not so much that one needs to know it because it's just so basic, but a lot of people don't know this, that their bioactive environment includes a symbiotic relationship with a certain type of mite. So this symbiotic relationship are like, you know, those fish that cling on to sharks, what's it called? Remora?
Yep.
Yeah, so those things. So those are good for your millipedes. They're also on cockroaches. They're also on springtails.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I never knew that.
It
So
is an unsightly, annoying thing, but once you kind of get used to seeing it, like the way to combat it if you're getting overrun with mites is increase your springtail load.
yeah,
Like literally, if you increase your springtail load, it creates an environment where those two have to compete with each other. So you just gotta up the ante on one team, or feed
yeah,
them cucumber. I don't know why, or zucchini. If you put a cucumber or zucchini slice in it, it attracts them, and they go like crazy and have their own little like Bugsy party on it.
mm-hmm.
And then they're not a problem. But honestly, you're creating an environment of a box with bugs, and other bugs you're going to want to join that cool party. And it should be the greatest honor if you're the cool kid house and you have all the bugs.
Yes.
Like, you're going to deal with gnats. You're going to deal with fungus. Like, I make a joke, isopods come with a side in mycology, because I'm constantly having to look at different fungus being like,
Come on.
do I need to fix that? Can I leave that? Can I throw that into my like springtail bin and let them have a party on it? Like, it's me constantly trying to figure out what mushrooms are randomly growing in my bins. And as annoying as it is, it's also really fun trying to ID different cool things and being like, a minor in mycology today. What can I learn? I just love knowledge.
Yes. And I always say it's better to know something that it'll be useful in the long run than not to know anything at all, or refuse to know anything at all. Hi, big homies. I just here before my show. Okay, thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you. Oh, they're such great people. Sean and Mike. Yes. Yeah, so this symbiotic relationship, I feel like it's very beneficial for all types of environments. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I have a question.
Okay.
If everyone can tune into this and help me with this question, or if Shelby, you know this question. I think not, but do snakes have these remora little mites on them?
No. So when it comes to snakes and it comes to geckos and things like that, mites do the opposite. So mites cause an affliction on them, where it's the same thing as a human having a bed bug. Like, humans don't really have a symbiotic relationship except for the microorganisms that live in like your eyelids and your eyelashes and things like that. Things that are so micro that you don't notice.
Right.
Snakes, as far as my knowledge has it, they don't particularly have that. With like bioactives, like you're gonna have springtails and have a full like system that is a symbiotic relationship within itself. It's not like they're living on your animal per se. Like, they're living inside the environment.
Okay, got it. Okay. So Mark here has a question. Shelby, I have a bioactive enclosure for my veiled chameleon. I have dwarf whites and springtails. Are there any other arid species that I could add that would not try to eat or nip at my chameleon? That's a very good question, because I also have a veiled chameleon.
So for chameleons, they usually spend most of the time on the top of their enclosures, right? So they're not usually okay. Well, if that's the case, I mean, I would do the same thing I do for my new Caledonian geckos, because they pretty much have close to the same parameters, just different size requirements, so to speak, depending on how you have them set up. I say that very loosely with my knowledge on chameleons, completely. But for species that are not incredibly protein-driven, like giant canyons are an excellent arid species if you want something that's a little bit more chill, that's really dedicated to being a detrivore and only eating vegetation. I've never really seen them be super protein driven. Like, I'll give them their food dish and they finish it. However, if I give them leaves, it's gone in a day. Like, they love eating their like decaying leaves essentially. And the other ones would be like any of the pea scabers. So like lavas or orange dalmatians, or even like giant oranges or Spanish oranges. That's the same common name. That's a whole mess of
Like, in
that's a name cause is messed up, but it's giant orange / Spanish orange.
Yep.
And again, that is another Priscillio scaber that's not super protein driven. If you want a little bit of flashiness, and it's just keep in mind, isopods do not make a substantial diet. So thinking that there's isopods in their closure, it's like the same thing as giving someone a bag of potato chips. Like, it'll make them eat, but it's not going to keep them full. So they're not going to be a good feeder, but they're also not going to nip at your animal. And if they eat one or two, it's not going to give them a stomach ache.
So I know that veil chameleons, all chameleons and all crested geckos, they eat their sheds.
Mhm.
If you have a bioactive enclosure with the springtails and the isopods and everything else, they would also eat the shed, right?
Yeah, so if your animal doesn't eat its shed, it's going to eat that. It's going to go after its poop because that has a lot of protein and a lot of stuff in
Nutrition.
there. If you have geckos that like eat Pangea diet or Lagarde, like all those powder diets, they'll eat the leftovers in that, so you don't have to worry about the food rotting and things. They'll eat anything in the dirt as well, so you want to make sure you have a really healthy substrate. So if you need a good one, Juice, as we all know now, go get his substrate. That is a really good one that has a good, healthy blend. You don't want to rely on something that doesn't give it food.
Right.
So you really want to have a solid substrate because it's not just their house. It's quite literally going to be the fridge, the pantry, and everything in between. So they really need that, plus like a lot of leaf litter. So they're going to be eating all the leftovers that your animal gives them on top of anything else.
Perfect. And now that you mentioned Juice's Royal Soil, Juice, I have a commercial idea. Okay, just pretend this is your bag. Pretend this is the bag of your soil. Okay, ready? It's not rotten. It's not down rotten to your core either, but it's royal. You feel royal at your best. I don't know. I'm so dumb.
I love it.
You know those like old commercials where they ask questions about the certain thing that you don't want, and then it gives you like the thing that you need or what you want. I just thought.
So we just need Juice's marketing team, aka Juice, can set it up.
He said, hired. No, don't hire me. I will ruin it for you for life. That's funny. Thank you, Juice, though. That's awesome. So yeah, I always get nervous because when it comes to my millipedes, when it comes to my isopods and stuff, they don't eat, like I don't really notice them eating the leaf litter. So like, am I doing something wrong, or are we gonna go back to the soil where the soil is wrong?
So if they're just not eating the leaf litter, I mean, it depends on how much you're really putting in there. Because I will put, if I'm trying to keep track of how much they're really eating, it's the leaf litter is kind of like the last resort of food. Like the soil's going to be where a lot of their nutrition is, and then any of the rotting wood in there, and whatever food that you provide them as well. So if you're also giving them a diet, so a lot of people feed like fish flakes or feed them different ice chows. Like I make my own called isodiesiac. So like I'll mix it up before back and forth. So if they don't have that, they'll go to their dirt, then they'll go to their leaves.
Yeah.
Or other way around, they'll eat their leaves first. It really just depends on the species. Some are way more driven to eat their decaying leaves, and some could really care less, and it's more shelter and homes for them. Right. So it really depends on the species, the size of the species, because giant canyons are like that big. Like they're pretty decently sized. A white shark is like a quarter of that size. So like realistically, my white sharks look like they're eating nothing versus my giant canyons that look like they're devouring everything. So it really depends on the size of the species, what they specifically like to eat. Like white sharks are more a burrowing species, so they really rely on a healthy soil that gives them a lot of nutrition there versus caring about my diet or other things. So catering to different species is just kind of knowing what you have and what they like. But around, it's a mix of the dirt and the leaves, and sometimes it's just they really just want those shrimps and those dried fees, and that's that.
Did you fall?
I did. My phone's buzzing. My LaFufu didn't hold my phone up.
So I know that in order for your isopods and springtails to continue to proliferate, you need that healthy soil. You need that endless supply of food. But is there a point where, say you have them in an enclosure with a certain type of animal, is there a point where enough is enough or too much is enough?
I mean, it just depends on your enclosure. I mean, I had a breakdown. It was so sad. I had to break down my carpet python's bioactive enclosure because I had a mite outbreak, unfortunately, in my reptile room, and I had to take care of it. And it means all my bioactives had to come apart. And there was like tons of powder blues and oranges in there. I was shocked at how many were actually in there. So like if it's a healthy environment and there's everything they need with leaf litter and a solid dirt, like they'll plateau themselves to a point where they won't be overrun with it. And it's really a matter of like all the horror stories of people being like, I'm overrun with dairy cows. It's probably because they didn't just stop feeding them. If you stop feeding, the population will level itself out because obviously moms aren't producing. Like for isopods, if you feed them and they don't have any jobs, they really aren't doing anything in the day. So like, you know what bored teenagers do? They make babies sometimes.
Exactly.
So when you keep feeding these little teenagers and they are bored and have nothing else to do, they think there's plenty of supply. And so the demand needs to be driven up to create more babies because you're motivating them to do that.
Right.
So if you level off your food, you really don't have to worry about that. And as long as they have a healthy environment with the other factors that they need to survive, they'll have a healthy population and limit themselves at that. And if you ever are noticing too much of an increase, you can either decrease food or just take some out of your soil and just limit it down some. Like there's ways of management that's a lot more reasonable. It's really not as insane as people make it out to be sometimes.
True. That's so true. So you mentioned you have a carpet python?
Yes, I have 2 carpet pythons. I have an albino Darwin. Her name's Yuzu. And then I have a normal male albino Darwin as well. I like keeping lines pure. I can't hybridize things, and I really with carpets I know it's more accepted, but I really just love my albino girl, and I'm perfectly fine with just making Darwins.
Okay.
Like also it's Darwin. Like I collect Charles Darwin books, so it's just a nerdy thing in my brain that I'm like I'm cool with just this.
Yeah. So that's a really interesting memorabilia that you collect. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Oh, my man got me into it. We have like a whole bookcase full of reptile books, and it's on keeping and breeding. I just picked up some books on reptile diseases, and a couple other really interesting, just old time books. I just like collecting them. I think it's really fun to read history on even the ones that are plain wrong, just how misinformed we were and how far herpetoculture's come today.
Yeah.
It's such cool to see the strides that have been made and the scientific like advances that we've pushed ourselves to see and have learned. Like it's fun reading those old books and being like, hey dog, can we unedit this out please? Like let's delete it. Like let's act like this doesn't exist. But it's fun. Like I find this book in a lot of the used bookshops here, and it's like Poisonous Reptiles of Texas. And this book is like from the 80s.
Wow.
And me and my man find it, and we giggle every time, and we'll flip through it, and we'll point out all the silly things, and all the misnamed things, and all the crazy, this snake will chase ya lines. And it's just the funniest thing ever. So it's just nice to read that stuff sometimes and be like, well, I'm glad things have changed. And it's still working on the uphill of going and changing more because we need change to happen.
That's true. Yeah. So how many animals do you have?
Wow. I have about 30 hognoses, about 7 corn snakes, about 7 king snakes, and that's a mix of MBKs and desert king snakes. And this is just my personal side of my collection. This isn't even like Robbie's side. I think altogether we have about 300 animals, but a majority of that is the babies that we have bred and are selling right now.
Wow.
But I also have like 5 gargoyle geckos, like 4 crested geckos. I have like a little Urodactylodes. It's a little chameleon gecko. I have my carpet pythons. I have about like 9 ball pythons. Gosh, I have so many animals. I think roughly like reptile side of everything and geckos.
Yeah.
Maybe about 70. And I maybe have about like 10 tarantulas and true spiders. And that's because I have to give shout out to my little velvets. I love my velvets.
I like it.
And then I have like 50 colonies of millipedes and isopods.
Yeah.
Oh, plus
I think everyone
geckos. I can't forget my lesbian army. I love my girlies.
Okay. That's perfect.
I'm at the rock climbing gym with my man, and I was telling all the ladies here about having lesbian armies and educating them about mourning geckos. And that's like my favorite thing to pitch people that are not into geckos at all, because I'm like, dudes, hear me out. Listen about these little ladies.
For real.
Parthenogenic. They eat gecko food.
They're
Super
army.
cute. And they chirp. I was listening to them chirp at each other at night. They're like little like songbirds. It is I love morning geckos. Those guys are like my secret like guilty pleasure. When I got them, my man was staring at me like, this is really random. Why did you trade isopods for these? And I was like, I can't wait for them to replicate themselves.
Yes.
Science. I love parthenogenesis.
That is so cool, though. That's women rule, whether human.
I know.
Yeah, cool.
And there's even like species of like scorpions, and though I have reading for scorpions, like I think it's the Titus or something like that. There's like a whole different species of. I'm sure Juice knows what I'm talking about.
Yes, Chris knows. He's in the comments.
Yes, it's like TIT. Me and my man were making really funny jokes about them, so I'm trying to say it properly.
It says, okay, time to prepare for Reno pop-up tomorrow. Okay, thank you for joining, Drews. Thank you so much.
He's just leaving because he doesn't know the species we're talking about. He got nervous. He just don't know.
Okay, so Chris said, I cannot
that one. Yes.
Nice. Thank you for sharing that. And
yes, so that species in particular has like those ones, and then there's 4 other ones that also are partho. And my man, I agreed to let him get some because I'm trying to, I feel like if I just get them, I can't be afraid of them, right?
Right.
Like if I feel like that's solid logic. Like even the emperor scorpions, I'm only really enjoying them now because I have 2 of their babies. I have that I got in a trade. Then I'm like, I don't need them, so you can come to shows with me. But I pull them out all the time because people want to see them, and they're in their little burrows. So I pull them out, and I'm handling them, and I'm like, crap. Maybe I do like these things. Like it's like a little mini land lobster, a little emo land lobster. Like they're kind of cute.
They are cute, yeah.
But then I think about the venom level on the other ones, and I'm like, ugh. And the tan ones, they look like the face huggers from Aliens to me. So like
love those.
My mom traumatized me with this. If my mom's watching this, I tell everyone this story. Growing up, she loved aliens, right? And I was like 7. And my mom's the type of person I could tell her like, hey, I don't really want to watch this. And she'd be like, okay, you have a TV in your room. And I'd want to hang out with my mom, so I'd watch this stuff with her. The first, like my fear of, see those, super cool.
I'm sorry, but I love aliens.
But that little creepy crawly, that has always made me think of scorpions. And I've had to call my stepdad crying because I found a scorpion in my apartment like years ago.
Oh, wow.
Before I got really into inverts and bugs. Like before I really dove into reptiles.
Yeah.
I was not look, a bug in my home. If it was a spider, I'd be like, I'll take you out. I was kind. But scorpions, I was like, fear in my tracks. This thing's going to sprint at me and jump at me. Like the ones in Vegas are like that big, bro.
Yeah.
They're not intimidating at all. But it just looks too much like the face huggers. And I
love that part.
I noticed now as an adult.
Yeah.
And now I feel silly saying it out loud, but
no. No. But have you noticed when a tarantula is molting, they look like a face hugger when yes.
But I think it looks like a jellyfish.
That too, yeah.
And it's less fast. Like I know, like it's one of those like, you are weak. You cannot do anything. Like I can sit here and watch you, and you can't do anything. Ha. But like a scorpion, like sitting there is like, maybe it could. Like I know it can't. All of my bug knowledge, all the research I have done to like get over this fear tells me physically not possible. It will not happen. But me, what if?
There's no what ifs. Come on.
There's
You gotta
always
get it
a
out.
lingering what if in the back of my head.
Okay, so I have a alien story. Hold on. Okay, so the story of how I always tell this story, how I got into spiders and everything. So when I was 5 years old, I first saw the movie Aliens, 1979, Ridley Scott's Aliens. And when I first saw the face hugger, I was intrigued. I was in love. I was like, this is the best movie of ever. And when I saw that thing coming out of the egg, I was like, I saw stars. And I'm like, this is the coolest thing ever. So any kind of spider that I saw, I was like, oh, it's real. It's going to grow up to that thing. So every time I saw a spider, I wanted to bring it in the house. But
Oh.
this is where the story gets a little twisted.
Oh no.
I wanted to find a daddy long leg because to me, I thought that's what it was when I was a kid. So I wanted to find one and I wanted to bring it to the house, hopefully lay an egg. And once it did, it will attack my brother. And I could watch the alien pop out. So every time I would watch my brother as he's sleeping lifelessly, and I would just, any day now. So yeah, I was a very demented little child.
Dude, I bet you were so disappointed when like it didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
Dude, I bet you were so well behaved and so like, I can't wait for my spider to get you. Like
I have no feelings of torturing my friends and family. I don't. I really don't.
I love that though.
Yeah. And you know what else too though? When I got a little bit older, I fell in love with Aliens franchise even more because H.R. Giger got that idea of the face hugger, the acid blood, the way it looked and everything from the Typostola barbata, the Australian green belly huntsman.
Oh, that's
If
cool.
you look at that, yes. So the green belly huntsman is the only huntsman or the only spider that has more acidity in their blood.
Oh,
Of course, it doesn't affect us, but like it doesn't do anything either. Like it doesn't bleed through like concrete or anything.
yeah.
But it's the compounds in their hemolymph that has more acidity.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So I was like, this is the coolest thing. The closest thing I can get to a face hugger.
Seeing like, oh, I love science. And it's so weird how like the acidities in certain bugs creates like a different scientific reaction. Like,
yes.
For example, like I've noticed with my papaya isopods, like they're very like light pink isopod, right? Mm-hmm. But once I started giving them limestone, like they started getting more intense, like a dusty rose and like more intense pinks. And like technically, if you look at horticultural limestone, it on the bag says that like it makes hydrangeas pinker. And so I kind of looked at that and applied the science of like how it does it for flowers and how it applies more pink tones. And essentially, when you're doing it in gardening, it's increasing the acidity or decreasing it. Either way, you're doing something to the acidity and you're creating the flower to become more pink. So arguably, if the isopod's eating the limestone, it's changing their acidity levels too to create a pinker tone from what I've noticed. I don't know particularly how the science works. I just know I feed my pink bugs limestones and rocks, and they become more pink. So something about science there, and I'm assuming the same thing applies to the hydrangeas as it does this bug. So yeah, it's really fun to see how certain things in science affect it. Like I give live moss and like a green dye specifically to my green isopods that have more of those neon yellow colors to help get their colors amplified. Yeah. And like I give my purple sweet potato diet to my Jupiters to get their blue to get more increased as well. So it's really cool to see like those little tricks that I use to create more color definition in some of my bugs. It's just a fun trick. I love how science affects like different things just based off of how diets and how their bodies are structured.
Mm-hmm. And it's, if you notice, it's specifically created for that. Mm-hmm. So cool. So we're almost coming up to the top of the hour, and on my show we play a game, kind of like you saw last night, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So do you want to play hot take?
I feel like I can't say no, so I'm in. Let's do this. Okay. I'm gonna try my best, and if I don't know, I'm gonna answer with confidence.
Okay, you can also phone into the chat and they can help you with the answer. You ready?
Dude, Juice bounced out before this. He played.
I know.
He tried to help him with it last night either, so I should have helped last night. Maybe I could have guilted him into this.
Revenge.
All right. Let's do
Okay.
this. I'm locked in.
You're locked in. All right.
Let's do this.
All right. First question for $100. Do millipedes actually have 1,000 legs?
No, it depends on the species and how large they are. It does vary, but they do have a lot of legs. There is many legs there, but not. They don't technically have specifically a million or whatever
Correct.
milli stands for.
Yes, correct. You're correct. So no, they have 100 and some from 24 to 750. And yeah, you're right. Okay, next question. What is the primary role for the millipede in the ecosystem?
Oh, I know this. So they're detrivorous. So their job is to work on decomposing and eating decaying matter. The
Yes.
other part of their job too is because they're burrows, they go through and aerate the soil to help continuously grow and produce plants and make it a healthy environment. So it's always cycling. Bug knowledge. I love it.
Pew, 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 pew. Yes. Good job. Okay, no, you do not win money, Nick. No. So why don't you just
You win knowledge and
yeah, you
hype.
win knowledge. Woo! Okay. Are millipedes dangerous to humans?
No, they are friends in the ecosystem. They eat the decaying matter you don't want. They eat the carrion in the road that you don't see, and anything of that nature. So truly, it is not a bug that you need to step on or hurt or harm. If one wanders into your house, consider it the greatest honor.
Exactly. Don't share love. Wait, what's that thing from Hub Tarantulas? That sticker. It says,
Oh gosh.
share bugs, not drugs.
Yes.
Or love bugs, not drugs. Something like, oh, hug bugs, not drugs, or something like that.
Oh, that's cute.
Right? Yeah. Okay. What's the next one? If you were a millipede, would you rather have 100 legs or 1,000 legs?
Okay, well, if I
Nick,
had
what do you
100 legs, I'm
say?
going to be a smaller species. If I had closer to 1,000 legs, that means I'm going to be a giant. Now you're telling me I have to pick between being an African giant or a bumblebee, and I'd be a tree millipede.
A tree
So I
millipede?
think that's like right in the middle, because it's like a medium-sized millipede.
Right. That has 24 legs, which is one of those that are the small ones.
Mm-hmm.
So a tree millipede?
Yeah, a nice medium-sized bugger.
The small ones are the best ones.
Yes.
Okay. So that was it for the hard questions. This is more like a if you were type questions. Okay. Now, if you were a millipede that had venom, would you be a non-venomous or a venomous millipede?
Ooh, so pick between being like a bumblebee
Toxic or
or
not toxic?
like a pink dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'd be a pink dragon any day of the week. I would be a flatback millipede in a heartbeat. Like,
Wow.
she's beautiful, she's dangerous, she's like eye-catching. I think that all is what I'd ever want to be. So like, yes, that is the most beautiful millipede species. I'd love to be a little dangerous.
Ooh. I kind of all right. So, which one would you rather be? A snake or a millipede?
God, I love snakes so much. Hold on. Super fast. See, if I was a snake, I couldn't even do that. I'd have to slither. A millipede, easy. The universe answered for me. If I had 1,000 legs, I could have done that faster. So
True.
the universe answered for me.
Millipede.
I'm a millipede. I'm an invert girly for life. With all my reptiles, I think I'm always gonna have bugs in the collection. I can't get rid of them. They're me.
Yeah.
I love them.
Me too. Yeah. All right. Last question. Either live in the Amazon or in Africa.
Ooh, the Amazon. But hear me out, because
Okay.
South America has the coolest family of frogs. The Harlequin frogs, which is actually this dude on my hand.
Okay.
It's a pink and black toad. They look exactly like dart frogs, and there's tons of different species of them. They're black and white and pink and black, and just tons of different really cool things. And I would 1,000% love to live in the Amazon. Because if I could be a bug there and I got ate by something cool as heck, I am so game for that. Like,
Cool.
put me in, coach.
Yes.
I would risk it just to see the pure beauty of it.
So we're going with Amazon.
Yes.
Yay! I would too. Amazon. Yeah. But there's a big but for me on that one, because in Africa you have the Ceratogyrus genus of tarantula that are the ones with the horns.
True.
They're my absolute favorite tarantula. So, and then the Amazon has everything that can kill you as well. Well, not everything, but you know what I mean. So this is kind of hard for me. But then again, Africa has Egypt.
There's a lot of cool stuff in both dioms, honestly. It's
I would choose Africa.
fair. How about this? You go one, I go the other. We'll switch
There you go.
nature.
We'll split. All right.
We'll take
perfect.
turns.
Perfect. Oh my gosh. So, Shelby, I can't believe you've gone through this entire show with nothing but a smile and incredible education that you provided for us.
Stop. You're going to make me blush. I've been nervous this entire time. I swear.
No, no. We didn't notice, guys, right? No, of course not.
Guys.
Yes. You have been amazing, incredible, iconic, very iconic. And I want to ask you, is there anything you wish that you could like give to the audience, like anyone who's watching, like anything positive, anything that you wish people would know about you or your journey?
Honestly, I don't think there's much to know about me except for I love the little guys. And if you love the little guys too, then we can talk about the little guys any day of the week. And I'm always going to be the loudest voice for them because I believe in and love them. So if that's your vibe, then like, come talk bugs with me anytime you want. I'm always here for education. But I'm not really one to talk about myself. I'm one to talk about the environment and the bugs and other cool things about everything.
Right.
So I really try my best to just be a nice, healthy source of learning. Because there's a lot of people I meet that want to get into isopods or trying to learn about bioactives that are just want to understand more and see all the different species that are out there, because there's so many. The fact that I have 50 isopods is only a small sprinkle into the world of isopods. So I just like being an easy source that people can come talk to and feel comfortable and be safe with. So if you need that and you want someone cool to talk about bugs with, cool. Besides that, the only thing to take away is please don't kill the little guys. Don't step on millipedes or isopods.
Right.
And be nice to bugs, because it's not a crime to be small.
Thank you. That was well said. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Yes. So for anyone watching, where can we find you other than on this episode?
Other than on this episode, all over Xotics is my Instagram page. There is where I post all of my reptile stuff. The link in my bio on that, it shows what reptile shows I'm going to be at and what I'm doing, what species I'm working with, and what are on my pending list. So if you have questions about things, you're always welcome to ask me. But that's usually the main spot to talk to me on. Besides that, I don't know. Whisper into the wind. Maybe I'll come and disappear like a fairy. I tend to be a little magical like that.
Perfect. All right, guys. So you've seen her, you met her, you heard her voice. Please go support Shelby all over Xotics and everything that she's doing. She does amazing work. And not only that, she's so cute. I love it.
Thanks again, Kat. You have been so sweet. You made it such an easy for a first timer doing something like this. So It has been nothing but the greatest honor to be on here and talk to you like this. I can't help but smile. I feel so like thank you. You genuinely deserve your woes for everything that you do.
Oh, thank you. No, it's the people that we meet in this community, in this journey. We're all in it together in the sense of we don't gatekeep, we help each other because we all have a common denominator, and that is the well-being and the welfare of our animals. So when we find people that are like you and that are like people in the comments that are there to support each other, that are there to help each other, not only gain knowledge, but to put a smile on everyone's faces is the best thing. So it's the right medicine, and it's also the best medicine.
Yeah.
So I thank you as well. So thank you.
Thanks.
Yes. And everyone, please. Oh, Sammy. Sammy came in late, but we love you, Sammy. And thank you, Jules, for putting that up there to go follow Shelby's social. And let me just put that one more time so everybody can just go and click on that real quick and give Shelby a follow. Please like, share, and comment and subscribe if you dare. And we will catch everyone in the next episode, where's my book? Always losing my book. I was looking for this for like 2 weeks. You know where I found it? Under my pillow.
Dude, I bet you had the most fire dreams, though. I bet your intentions went off so hard. I hope you hoped and dreamt for the biggest things when it slept in your period. Do you understand how, like, intentional that is, bro? Dude, do that again and have the most wild dreams about some hopes. Write it down in there. Like, give yourself a lovely little love letter and take a nap on that thing. Trust me. It might not do anything, but it's going to make you feel like you manifested the world in the palm of your hand. And it's everything.
Oh, my God. That was the best thing you said today. Thank you so much, Shelby.
Of course.
Thank you, Chris. Yeah, so now I'm blushing. Okay.
Well, you made me blush. I had to get you back.
Next week, we have... Oh, my gosh. Guys. So next week, we're not doing Tuesday. We're going to start doing Wednesdays. So Wednesdays officially starts next week for my podcast. And for the start of the new... Wait, today was the new start, actually. So congratulations, Shelby. You're the first Wednesday girl.
Yay!
And you're Wednesday. Yay!
Wednesdays! Hump day! Sorry, I love that commercial. That's such a good feel back.
That's perfect. Oh my God. The cutest Wednesday we've ever had is you. Okay.
Oh.
So next Wednesday is Mark Anderson from Show Me Reptiles. Yay.
Ooh.
Awesome. So I won't be, obviously we're starting on Wednesdays, but I will be on the Royal Caribbean podcast on Tuesday, the 19th. So if you guys want to catch me there, I think it's at 9. I don't know. I got to check in with that, but watch my stories. You probably find out that. So Tuesday, the 19th, I will not on here, not on Web Wonders. I will be on Royal Caribbean podcast with DJ and the whole crew. And then Wednesday on my show, Web Wonders, we will have Show Me Reptiles, Mark Anderson. So that is what we have for next week. Shelby, you have been amazing. We love you. Thank you, everyone in the chat. Chris, Nick, Mike Duvall, Ken. Thank you, everyone, for being here. And we will roll the outro. Shelby, don't go anywhere. We love you. We see you next week. Bye, everybody.
Lights come on, pulse in the air, we unite. Cold-blooded, got 5 feet in the night. Cold-blooded, caffeine, fueling the fight. Reptile crew, got our backs tight. Thank you, fam, for keeping us all. CMB reptiles, rolling with soul. Hold no soul, lifting our goal. Together we burn like burning coal. Elevate, more fries in the show. Irresistible pythons letting it flow. Better reef crew, yeah, but watch them go. Indigo, reptile coast, set the glow. Shadow feeders with shadow feeders. Under the rock with cold-blooded hitters. Ship your reptiles, make life better. South Bay reptiles, through every weather. Blue Power, Shaman, Blue Tongue Republic. Arc adventures, riding Republic. No fakes, no breaks. established. Sponsors love through beats we rise. Showing thanks met under the skies. Unite the world, reptile ties. Cold blood, warm hearts, no disguise.
That's such a good song.